Afternoon, guys. Dave Canterbury at the Pathfinder School, out here with another series or another video in the series of the 21st Century Long Hunter. What we started talking about yesterday was we talked a little bit about food, and we can learn a lot about what food you need to carry on the trail to help sustain you by what the long hunters and frontiersmen carried of the 18th and 19th century. What we're going to do today is we talked a little bit about pemmican. We've talked a little bit about corn meal or corn flour. We've got some corn flour over here that I've put a mixture together with that we're going to use to make us some Cajun flavored hush puppies. And we're going to use that same tallow that we have rendered down that we're going to boil the hush puppies in. Once we get that done, or we fry the hush puppies in, I should say. Once we get that done, we're going to use that same tallow to make pemmican. So stay with us. We're going to have a good time today, and we'll be right back.
All right, folks. As we talked about earlier, we're going to move on to making some pemmican. It's a real good, high-protein food, especially this time of year with winter coming on. We want to, you want to have a high-calorie, food. Yeah, nice fatty food that you can have around camp, especially, like I said, as winter's coming on, the colder nights. So one of the things we want to do first is I have some jerky here, and just a hammerstone we found in the stream, something you might use for flint knapping. And basically what you want to do is you want to pulverize this and just get it as fine as you possibly can. And then, I don't know if you can see just how fine I'm getting this. And we want to use whatever we've got here when we go to make this pemmican, because this mixture is a 1-for-1. So we don't have a whole lot of jerky here, but we're going to go ahead and use what we've got. All right, folks, as I'm continuing on here, I did want to take a moment to talk to you about the greatest value of pemmican is that it's a good fatty food, and I can't drive that point home enough. And that is something that calorie intake this time of year. But some things I did want to mention as we make this, it's basically just jerked meat and the fat, the tallow, but smoke getting my eyes there. But traditionally the Indians would add whatever they could find on the trail, whether it might be nuts, berries, wild edibles, anything they could get just to have a little bit of taste to it and to add to the calorie value of it. And it's like this time of year, you can still find some walnuts on the ground if you chose to add that, etc. It's only limited by your imagination. Slowly but surely getting it there.
All right, so we've let this cool down a little bit now, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of dip this in a little bit at a time, and Jeremy's going to mix it as we go, and it'll solidify in the air. And it's really a 1-to-1 mixture, so what you're really wanting is a paste when you're done. And the only reason I'm not just pouring this in there is because I don't want to make a big mess and have it dripping all over the board. You could do this in a container if you wanted to, but it's just as easy to do it like this. And you're just kneading a big ball of dough basically at this point. Just trying to get all of that scraped up into a big waxy feeling ball of grease. And you can see there's almost enough in there now. We're going to put a little bit more in there and work it in. And then we'll let it sit there and set up and dry. And then we can just put that into a bandana and put it in our haversack. It's important that you let stuff like this breathe. Jerky and fat and tallow and things like that need to be able to breathe, or they'll go rancid on you. So if you lock them into a plastic bag or something, they're not going to be able to breathe. They're going to collect moisture and it's going to go rancid. You can see basically it's just got a big wad ball there. We'll put just a little more grease in there, I think.
That'll be good.
Yeah, I think it will be too. And once he gets that set up, we'll just let it sit and dry into a big hard ball, and that would be your pemmican that you would put into your haversack, and you just eat bites and pieces off of it as you go, and you're going to get all that fat and all that meat protein at the same time. Think you got enough?
I think that's perfect. Got a good consistency to it.
Right, let her sit there and dry for a few and see how she turns out. Yeah, it looks good, man.
All right, now we've let this set for a few minutes and harden up. I just take my cotton bandana, and as Dave said earlier, you want to make sure you put it into a container that will allow it to breathe. Just set it right in here and wrap it up. Now, we don't have a lot of pemmican. We weren't able to make a lot because we didn't have a lot of jerky, but as you saw, the ball size that we did have be enough easily to sustain you for a day on the trail. So I've just tied it up, tied the ears. It's a nice little container. And slip it right in my haversack. Now I've got a quick, easy meal out on the trail. I'll show you a little tip that we used to do out when I did the living history. Obviously you do cooking around the camp, and eventually it comes time to do the dishes. Not all of us carry the soap and water, especially if we're traveling light. One little trick that we used to do was go out and just gather some wild wheat and use the stalks. You just grab maybe something about the size of your wrist, and then all you do is take your hatchet, your knife, whatever you may have, cut you off a nice even area. Take it, fold it in half, find out where your other end will be, cut that off. You can take just a vine or even a piece of bank line like I have here, just tie it up. Now you have a nice little pot scrubber you just found while walking down the trail. I'm Jeremy Janey, instructor here at the Pathfinder School. I want to thank you for your support and your comments. Keep them coming. We always look forward to them, and I look forward to seeing you again out on the trail.